Religious freedom and the worst violators around the globe. Many people believe the U.S. State Department made a big error last year when it omitted Nigeria from the list of countries of particular concern. Will Nigeria be back on the list this year? What other religious freedom violators should get our attention? Well, Todd Nettleton is with VOM. He's a radio host and chief of media relations at the Voice of the Martyrs. Good to have you with us again, Todd. So which countries are expected to be among those of particular concern this year in the State Department report? Those, of course, considered to be the most severe violators of religious freedom.
You know, there are currently 10 countries on that list of countries of particular concern. I think with the report this year, the big ones to watch are India and Nigeria. Both of them have been recommended as countries of particular concern by the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. Now we'll see what the State Department does with those recommendations, and we'll see whether they really fix that label to them. The other one that I think will almost certainly become a country of particular concern is Afghanistan. With the Taliban back in charge there, I don't see how it won't be a country of particular concern, especially with some of the things we've seen even in the last few months with related to burqas, with related to girls going to school. Clearly, the Taliban is back up to its old tricks.
So tell me a little bit more about that, India. Why do you think India needs to be on the list?
Well, India is a country that is led by Prime Minister Modi, who came out of the Hindu nationalist background. His government wants every Indian to be a Hindu. And if you're not a Hindu, you should become one, or you should find a different place to live. That affects our Christian brothers and sisters there, but it also affects millions of Muslims in India. Obviously, though, India is a country that we do a lot of trade with. There's a lot of commercial interests back and forth between our two countries. And it'll be interesting to see if the State Department is willing to offend the Indian government by saying they're a country of particular concern on religious freedom, or if they put those sort of trade relationships ahead of religious freedom and sort of let it go by.
And they were hesitant to do that with Nigeria last year, but this year it'll probably be back on. Which countries do you think should be considered countries of particular concern, those that may not be given this designation this year?
You know, the one that wasn't on the list that I was concerned about was Mozambique. Northern Mozambique is a place where Christians are under attack by radical Islamists. It is a place where pastors have been killed, Christians have been killed, and it is not on the list. It's not on the recommended list. And the group, the radical Islamist group there, is not even on the recommendation for entities of particular concern. That's one I thought they missed in this year's report.
Now, Todd, several years ago, Vietnam altered its behavior a bit when it was listed as a country of particular concern. But then once the designation was removed, it resumed violating religious freedom. So what difference does this annual State Department report really make for persecuted Christians around the world?
You know, I think if you're a Christian in prison in China or Iran, it really doesn't make a difference for you. But it does make a difference at the government level. And it makes a difference that the United States is saying religious freedom is so important to us, we want to make it a part of our international relations. We want to make it a part of our diplomatic process to talk about religious freedom, to talk about getting people out of prison who are in prison unjustly because of their religion. This is such a significant thing. We're going to make it a part of our conversations. Now, even after the State Department makes these designations, the administration has a lot of leeway in how they use that, whether they put on sanctions, whether they really put teeth behind these designations. But I think the significance of it is the United States saying, we believe religious freedom is so important. We want to make it a part of every relationship we have with other countries. We at least want that to be an issue that's on the table for discussion.
Well, then, how satisfied are you with the Biden administration response to persecution and its commitment to global religious freedom thus far? What more could be done, Todd?
You know, one of the things that's a challenge, it's one of the reasons I'm thankful that I'm not an elected office holder is, you have to balance all of these things. And we saw that with the Trump administration. We see that with the Biden administration as well. Hey, we want to talk about religious freedom, but we also want this. We also want to have these trade relationships. And so I think every administration could do more.
And Christians as well, right? We should do more.
Absolutely. We need to let our elected officials know this is something we care about. This is something we think about when we go into the ballot box. We also need to act through our prayers. We need to be regularly praying for our persecuted brothers and sisters around the world. Ultimately, persecution is not a government issue, it's a spiritual issue. And we need to recognize that, and we need to fight in the spiritual battle through our prayers.
Okay, VOM's Todd Nettleton, thanks for being with us, and congratulations, Todd, on winning this year's ECPA Book Award in the Biography and Memoir category for your book, When Faith is Forbidden, 40 Days on the Front Lines with Persecuted Christians.
Thanks so much, Gary. It's always good to be with you.